Howdy, folks. Welcome back to the channel. KG is back. It's time for a brand new video. The international break is done. It's over. We've had more players play. I'm going to get into that in just a moment. I'm also going to speak about Joël Piroe's comments to ESPN Holland about his future at Leeds United and beyond. Before I get into that, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and of course, drop your thoughts and comments below. We're going to be back tomorrow with game stuff. Danny Farker's doing his press conference tomorrow, so hopefully we'll get more team news and things and bits like that from there. But we are back into full swing club football. I cannot wait. Listen, before I forget, because I'm trying to leave the shout outs to the end of the video, but I keep forgetting. I'm not going to lie, I keep forgetting. So listen, thank you to Robert and Carl, who have become members of the channel. Big up to all members of the channel as well. Thank you so much for that support. If you want to become a member, the link is in the description. And also Mr. P, thank you for the super thanks on the last couple of videos. I have meant to shout you out. I've just forgotten, but pardon me. But look, we had more players play, of course, and I always say you want your players in your team to be internationals. Otherwise, they may not be that good, no matter which country they play for. But look, we had Carl Darlow get another start for Wales. He looks like he cemented himself as Welsh #1, which is good for him. See, he's capable. Joe Roden played the full 90, but the best thing that I saw was Dan James. He did play, of course. He's a very, he's a key player for Wales. But the best thing about it is that he only played 60 plus minutes in terms of that. He played 64 minutes. So he is fairly well rested, and I think will be in very good condition for the upcoming game. Of course, we'll hear all those notes and everything from Danny Farker tomorrow, but that's a good thing for me. That's the one thing I was thinking about with DJ. He could not be playing 90 minutes and then expecting him to go again for another 90 against Swansea. And again, I maintain if we're comfortable in the game against Swansea, 1-0, very comfortable looking, and then especially 2-0, then take him off, give him another week's rest in preparation for the next game, and we go from there. Because then it's, counting down the games, and it's 7 games left on this promotion race. So yeah, look, good stuff from there. The one player that did play 90 minutes, though, was Junior Firpo. He played 90 minutes for the Dominican Republic. He scored the second goal as they defeated Puerto Rico 2-0. So, yeah, with Junior Firpo, it's just a case of conditioning, I guess, for him now on his way back in from wherever he's flying from. And he, played 90 minutes. Of course, he's going to play 90 minutes for the Dominican Republic. So, yeah, there's a couple of things that Danny Farker is going to need to manage, but we've been in this position before. So they've dealt with it with most of the season. Don't let it fall apart at this one now. Not the final hurdle. Let's not do this. One person that didn't play international football, though, was Joël Piroe. And he has said, and I'm going to bring it up as well about him. Suriname have tried to call him up. He's Dutch, but he's like Surinamese as well. Much like Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank, who I've got to bring up on that one because he was both as well. But he turned down the call up for them. I think it's more to do with, once he's in the Premier League, and if he does well, Holland, he's hoping for a Dutch call-up. I think it would probably be that more than anything. But he was talking about it's for the full focus of Leeds United and for something I want to mention in just a moment, which is quite important. But something else he did say was that he was asked about having unfinished business and does he see himself going back to PSV? And listen, shout out to a couple of you that messaged me on IG about this and give me your thoughts. I'll give you mine straight up here. There's a video attached to this. Obviously, I can't play it on here, but there is a video on here. But he was asked if he ever sees himself going back to PSV, and he absolutely sees himself returning to PSV one day. He feels like he has unfinished business there. Now, there is no issues with me on this. Honestly, and you guys, if you know my content, you'll know straight away that I've got zero issue with this. This is just a player talking. And I'll give you another scenario. It could have been that, the Dutch journalist, asked him, and maybe he felt like, oh, maybe I've got to say I want to come back to PSV one day. But I don't see it coming anytime soon. Unless like he comes up with us in the Premier League and has a nightmare in the Premier League, and then says, you know what, man, I want to go back to Holland. That's the only way I see it. But he's only 25 years old, people. You know what I mean? He's still young, fairly young as well for a striker and a forward. So I don't see Joël Piroe, and one of the comments yesterday was, is he going to look to go this summer? No, I don't think it's going to be this summer. I think it's one of those where he's looking at maybe at the tail end of his career, maybe. It could be that. It could be like, say, like in his 30s that he sees himself going back, or like I say, if a few things don't work out for him in the Premier League, or if he moves anywhere else and he says, you know what, man, I'm going back home. But yeah, for me, I've got zero issue with this, and I liken it to other things. I mean, you've seen recently, there's irony with football fans. Always is. It's always, if it's about their club, then you can't say anything. But if you talk about another club, then it's okay. I mean, I saw something from Liverpool fans talking about Trent, saying, "Oh, look how he's abandoning the club and everything else like that. No transfer fee." But only, and it was this one account. The same account was talking earlier about Zubimendi not going to Liverpool, saying he's only been at one club. He's been babied by the club. He doesn't want to leave, and all that stuff. So it's all right. You want Zubimendi to leave, but you don't want Trent to leave yours. Now, people will say it's different levels. Sashi at Liverpool, I get it. But football fans in general always take it personal when a player says that they don't envision themselves finishing at their club. I don't see it that way. I look at it another way as well. If bringing it back to Leeds United, of where Jermaine Beckford left, and he wasn't even homegrown here, but he had his greatest time, I would say, at Leeds United. Did well for himself at Everton. He had a decent season, but as you see with him now, he's always doing Leeds United stuff. I think he's employed by the club now, isn't he? But Jermaine Beckford, for the longest time when he left Leeds United, was always teasing coming back. Always teasing coming back. But it was during that period where we had no money. And by then, Beckford had gone on to Premier League wages and we couldn't afford him. So he could say it as much as he wanted, but we weren't bringing him back in that era. We weren't bringing him back in the Bates era. We weren't bringing him back in the GFH era, Chelino era. It wasn't happening. Okay. But he did keep on dropping hints. And for me, this is no different. This is just a former player of a club where he went through the academy saying, I would like to see myself play there one day. Again, no different to James Milner, who always, never said that he wanted to come back, but will talk up Leeds enough that where people, even if he's 50 years old, would say, let's go and bring James Milner in. He knows the club, all that rubbish. So for me, no issue with this. The one important point that I will say, what wasn't mentioned in any of the comments that, got in my messages, was the way that he was talking. And this was another bit of it that he said. This was him when he was talking about not playing for Suriname in order to focus on Leeds United. But the key thing here, look at the last sentence. At the moment, I am only thinking about the title. Now, that's mentality. That's what you want. I've been saying top two. I've recently said that if we've slipped from position one, I want to know why. I want an inquest as to what has gone wrong, why we finished second. And there's got to be an inquest if we finish third, but let's not think about that. But the fact that Joël Piroe, his short-term goal is to get Leeds United promoted. And I would say that he wants a shot in the Premier League himself. Is he ready for that? We're going to speak about that in a future video if we get promoted. But his mentality is that we are going for the title. That's all I'm focusing on. It's not PSV. It's not international football. I want to get to the Premier League with Leeds United, winning the title. And that's brilliant mentality for me. That's the main thing that I'm taking from the interview. I'm not thinking about him thinking, oh, I want to go somewhere else. I know football's a business, and I'm really surprised that other people haven't grasped that yet. I know a few of you turned after the Archie Gray thing, going, man, maybe there is no love for the game no more. But that's just the way it is. Football, it's their careers. It's how they're going to earn the money. And then I would say on his not downturn, but on the end of his career, maybe he'll see himself back at PSV. But for now, no concerns, no issues with Joël Piroe. But let me hear from you if you have any concerns of what Joël Piroe said on international duty. But listen, people, we are going to get back into the club football vibe again. Cannot wait. Starting tomorrow with Daniel Farke's press conference. Until then, please like the video, free to do, and helps out the channel immensely. And I'll see you in the next one, people. Peace out.